Hi friends, welcome again to another episode of Magical Monday Messages. Hope you're having a great day. And the message that I bring for you today, friends, is a really profound question that I think we all need to ask ourselves as to what is the meaning or the purpose of our existence on this planet. See, we've heard lots of people talk about, hey, lead a life of purpose, lead a life of meaning and all of that, but sometimes we kind of make it into a very superficial topic of discussion, and we look at very superficial matters that attract us too, such as, I want to make money, I want to get rich, want to get famous and those kind of things, which is great. There's nothing wrong with that. But I guess what is really true and what is really going to shift the needle inside of us is when we actually know what is the purpose of gaining that wealth. What is the purpose behind gaining that fame or name or whatever it may be for you that might be your life's goal. Now, as I said to you in my previous episodes, that I'm going to refer to whatever I'm talking about or whatever I'm going to be talking about in the message for the day, I'm going to be actually conveying this with a bit of emphasis by a book that really made a profound impact on me. And hopefully that'll drive my point a little bit further and help you start thinking about, the message that is there behind whatever I'm speaking. So, friends, I read this amazing book on my recent flight back from India, and it's a 13 hour flight. And I'm one that I love to read books when I'm traveling. Somehow I don't like to watch as much, but I like to read more, and my journeys are generally calculated by it's a 2-book journey or it's a 1-book journey, that kind of a thing. But that's my measure, and there's no judgment, no criticism to people who love watching movies and, chatting to people, when they're traveling. But here's what I have to say. This book that I'm talking about, and I'll give you a little bit of a background, is called Man's Search for Meaning by a guy named Viktor Frankl. Now, Viktor Frankl was a Viennese psychiatrist who lived during the time in 1930s and 40s. He was a very well-known psychiatrist in Vienna, and went on to, sort of gather more name and fame. But what was important was that he was taken over in the World War II, taken over by the Nazis and was sent to a concentration camp, even though he had a choice to flee the country, but he elected to stay back for his aging parents. And he was taken as captive in one of the concentration camps. And in this book, he describes his journey about the concentration camp, and I want to read up one paragraph which was so profound that it made a huge impact on me. Let me read it to you. The author writes that a person may remain brave, dignified, and unselfish, or in the bitter fight for self-preservation he may forget his human dignity and become no more than an animal. Clearly, the conditions in the concentration camps were worse than what any of us can actually imagine. Simply reading this book was so profound that it actually caused me, to think about how the conditions were, to a point where cannibalism was taking hold in the struggle for survival of the camp inmates. Continuing with what I'm reading, is the author concedes that only a few prisoners of the Nazis were able to do the former, but even one such example is sufficient proof that man's inner strength may raise him above his outward fate. He continues to write that forces beyond your control can take away everything you possess except one thing: your freedom to choose how you will respond to the situation. You cannot control what happens to you in life, but you can always control what you will feel and do about what happens to you. Isn't that profound? I'd highly urge you to see if you can lay your hands on this book. It's a short read, once again about 150 odd pages, but you know what? When you read what Dr. Viktor Frankl had to go through in the concentration camp, how he kept his vision on what he was wanting rather than be discouraged by seeing his fellow inmates wither away, pass away one at a time. It only reflects to you that you are in charge of your destiny. Really profound, my friends. Once again, I hope you get the message behind it, that these little exercises will actually help us to go within and find the true meaning and the true purpose of our lives. Take care. From my heart to yours, good luck until I see you in the next message. Take care.